What is something that sounds safe but actually isn't? From my friend who works in government studying accidents. Duck boats. Interacting with a giant anteater. Their claws can kill a jaguar without much issue. Grain silos. People die every year because they explode with static electricity. Edit. And a lot of other ways too, including cave-ins, suffocation, burning, and other scary things. Thanks for educating me more on the ways grain silos can kill you. Everybody should rightfully know that Tide Pod challenges were unsafe. But the more innocent one was the cinnamon challenge. Cinnamon powder does not mix with water, so the instant reflex from the body was to cough to get rid of this unknown substance. But the inhale of air to cough with could cause you to inhale the cinnamon into your lungs. And that could cause serious harm or even death if severe enough. Anesthesia. I don't feel like people have enough respect for how complicated and dangerous it is to put people to sleep. I have patients all the time ask me to put them under for routine procedures that don't require sedation, and I always think to myself that you wouldn't be asking that if you knew how much training and monitoring and intensive effort it takes to keep someone asleep safely without them stopping breathing. Riding a horse. Those frockers will kill you in a heartbeat. Putting out an engine fire with a bucket full of water. Going in a car without a headrest on your seat. It's not just a pillow for comfort. Bison. Like the wild big cow-looking animals. I grew up around them and I see too many tourists in Yellowstone going to take a selfie with one. Those big mother frockers will kill you without batting an eye. Well, I don't know if this actually sounds safe, but trampolines. People think by putting the netting around them, etc. that you won't get hurt. Think again. You are one awkward landing from lots of potentially life-changing injuries. I have personally gotten to view the inside of an adult foot, ankle because of a trampoline. Telling your HR department how you really feel about your boss. Safes. They will bloody well crunch your fingers if you're not careful. Trampolines. The Canadian Pediatric Society warns against buying them at all for use by kids and teens. Caring for kids. CPS, CA, handouts, safety and injury prevention, home trampolines. Dryer lint. Clear your dryer vents. People. Mouthing off to a stranger. You never know how crazy they might be, or if they have a weapon. Just bite your tongue. Cleaning a cat's litter box with bleach. Don't mix ammonia and bleach. You'll be committing a war crime. Four-wheelers. So many injuries and deaths from people who don't respect what they can do and just how easy they are to topple. If I'm honest, fair rides. You'd think it'd be safe. It's surrounded by a lot of people, so if anything were to happen, help would be there straight away. And there's all these safety precautions, but the amount of things that have gone wrong way too often is scary. Edit. Yeah, with these replies. I most definitely don't see myself going one in the future again. However, tell me more stories, I want to know. You're all so interesting. Sleeping. Many people have sleep apnea who are not just overweight, old, smoke, or unhealthy. Snoring is the big indicator. You stop breathing dozens of times an hour through the night until your body responds by waking you up, and it repeats again. Not only does it slowly starve your brain of oxygen and put tremendous strain on your heart over years, but can cause such excessive drowsiness and sleep deprivation you can fall asleep while driving. If your partner says you snore a lot or you are always tired despite getting regular sleep, get it checked out. Regular being sleepy when driving is not normal, nor is always falling asleep when you sit and watch TV, read, or just relax for a few minutes. Walking up or down stairs. Using a dull knife rather than a sharp one? Don't put your feet up on the dashboard of a car when you're riding in the front seat. It doesn't matter if you're wearing a seatbelt. Your kneecaps are gonna go through your skull if you get in an accident. I used to do it all the time when I was younger. Now I want to scream every time I see it. Holding your breath while scuba diving. If you ascend from depth with your airways closed while breathing compressed air, you are at extreme risk of rupturing a lung, damaging your alveoli, and/or suffering from other lung overexpansion injuries. This is because when you take a breath under significant external pressure, the air you breathe in much more dense, and so your lungs can get more of it per breath, but as the pressure acting on you lessens, the air in your lungs expands, and if your airways aren't open, your lungs will be damaged from the overpressure. It is an easily avoidable risk, but if ignored, the consequences are often deadly or at least permanently damaging. Acetaminophen. Tylenol. Great, but the dose makes the poison, especially dangerous for hard drinkers and alcoholics. Retractable dog leashes don't give you that much control and can potentially cause serious injuries to you or your dog. Ziplining. I did ziplining when I was 10 and didn't have enough kinetic energy to carry my body and got stuck in the middle. A helicopter ambulance was needed to help me while I was over a deep cavern that was solid granite. Edit. My most upvoted comment is this now. And next summer I will be ziplining again over a volcano, so yeah, worth a second try lol. Sitting down all day. As someone who works in EMS, you'd be surprised by the amount of people who think it's safer to not wear a seatbelt than to wear one. The acronym for the Securing Antarctica's Environmental Future Organization. SAEF. Sure, it sounds like safe, but it isn't safe. Garage door springs. Pregnancy. A woman's body is designed to perform this function, and yet you, and the thing you are growing inside you, can die or kill you. Flushable wipes. They can actually clump together into big balls that clog your drain or worse cause issues for the town's plumbing way down the line. Taking the sounds part of the title literally, I'd say silence in a forest. It sounds like a cliché from horror stories or creepypastas, but it's a commonly regarded fact that when a forest is silent there's an apex predator around. This is commonly associated with animals like tigers, but it means the wildlife in the forest ran away or tried to hide its presence to avoid the danger. So while silence doesn't seem too big a deal, in a forest it means there's something nearby that you probably don't want to be dealing with. Replacing or adjusting garage door springs. This one doesn't sound perfectly safe, I admit, but the ratio of perceived safety to actual, holy crap, this can end super badly, is there for sure. The internet. Absolutely underrated danger level. People with anxiety get the fuck out of this thread. Driving. The eyes of potatoes, if they've sprouted any green, can be poisonous. Potatoes are members of the nightshade family, and are the most common cause of solanine poisoning in humans. Their green stuff can cause vomiting, diarrhea, headaches, paralysis of the central nervous system, and even death in rare cases. Use that weird thing on your peeler to gouge out those eyes. Edit. Redundancy. Surfing. It looks so restful and relaxing, smoothly swooping over swells. Until I moved to a surfing town and started working in an urgent care where we regularly saw broken noses from boards popping up, awful lacerations from getting finned by board fins riding over you, broken legs and stingray lacerations. The list goes on. I say this all the time. Pressure washing. Had a guy in college with a younger brother he loved to pick on. Sent him to the hospital after hydro-blasting him with 4,000 psi. Can commonly be found and started by kids. Honestly, do not know why people don't recognize how dangerous it is. Till giving babies water. Driving. Easily the most dangerous part of anyone's day. It's not respected as such. Nobody will see this 4,000 comments down, but opening up a CRT monitor TV. Those old TVs contain a part that can hold a lethal charge even after being unplugged for about a month. Edit. The part was called a capacitor, as many have pointed out. I guess I was wrong about this getting buried, but thanks to everyone for sharing your stories. I've never experienced the shock, but when I was studying the CompTIA A+ Cert manual, basically the whole chapter on monitor repair summed up to, hire someone who knows what they're doing or you will be electrocuted. Ass to fussy. Joining our Wall Street bets just to browse. A blind date. Eating honey while under 1 year of age. Safety razors, they still cut. Essential oils. Sounds pretty safe, right? Wrong. Lavender oil, eucalyptus oil, sage, and quite a few others have been linked with causing seizures and even death in pets, and, a bit less likely but still, young children. Too high of a concentration in a small area is toxic to pets. Edit. And tea tree oil. When your parents say, it's okay, we won't be angry. Mixing chemicals for cleaning. It'll create biological dangerous gas. Tylenol. Leaving the house. The safety dance. But don't let me dissuade you. You can dance if you want to. Pregnancy, childbirth. So many don't seem to know how many things can and commonly does take place with that. This entire thread is slowly becoming the Lonely Island song. YOLO. Being alive. Safe 6. It's all fun and games until you get caught. Foraging. Closing your eyes after you turn your alarm off in the morning. Biking in car-friendly cities. Disassembling and cleaning your firearm. Somehow people still manage to kill themselves by not clearing the weapon, and it seems like the most basic and common sense step. I just don't understand how people forget to clear it and then shoot themselves. Driving. Doing 100 down the freeway in a metal can powered by highly flammable combustion liquids, and mafrakas still have the nerve to cut you off. Livings with your parents. I had to move back in for various reasons and my mental health and well-being are declining fast. Sitting all day. Every day. Opening a box with a box cutter. Someone I know works at a place where they have a "it's been this many days since our last accident" sign, and after about 184 days with no accidents, they had to change it to 0 days because someone was careless with a box cutter. Having a baby? I have heard that many insurance company won't cover that, because that is actually a high-risk procedure? Alcohol. Going aboard any cruise ship for a vacation. Changing a pool pump that hasn't been running for a few days. Pretty simple, right? Well, I got mustard gassed as soon as I took the pipe off of the pump. It was basically just concentrated liquid chlorine, and the vapors that came out of it. Zeesh. Honey badger.